Hi, I'm Chad, and today I am out here at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. It's December 15th, 2023, and I am riding a Friday free practice ahead of CVMA's Round 3 of the 2023-24 Winter Series. This is my first time coming back out to race since a pretty nasty crash back in April of this year, but I have my 2013 Triumph Daytona 675R fixed up, and it seems like it's going to work. I haven't gone out for the first session yet in typical Chad fashion, but I'm going to go out for the next one, shake the bike down, see how it's feeling. I completely cleaned it out, changed the oil, cooling system, had to do some service to the front suspension, and a few other things. Shout out to Lot Motorsports for getting my suspension sorted out in time to make this round. But yeah, I'm excited. I haven't ridden the 2013 675R at Chuckwalla ever, and I haven't raced here actually since January of this year when I did my last race weekend as an amateur and actually won 3 of my 4 races. So don't think I'm going to be that lucky this weekend, but either way, as long as I have fun and make it home with the bike in the same kind of shape that it was before, minus some worn tires, I'm good. So with that, let's get geared up and get out for free practice. right, so first session was a little challenging. It's been almost 8 months since I've ridden a motorcycle with clip-ons, and it just felt super weird at first. I ended up doing a 159.4, 159.5, something that first session. I just didn't feel super comfortable on the bike, so I made a couple of tweaks to the suspension, added a few clicks of compression and 1 click of rebound on the shock, took a little bit of preload out of the front. Bike feels much better. Went out that second session, actually felt kind of comfortable, and did a 56.59, 1 minute 56.59. So for not riding a race bike for 8 months and just coming out here and getting 2 sessions in it, it's not too bad. I'm also on some old tires. I have a Pirelli Supercorsa SC1 front slick and an SC0 rear slick. The front tire, I can't remember how many laps it has on it, at least 20, 30 if I had to guess, maybe 40 or 50 at this point. The rear tire has 2 races on it, plus the laps at the end of the day, so maybe like 25, 30 laps total. Still working, starting to slide it a little bit, but we've got 1 or 2 more sessions here, so I'm just going to go out, run it for the end of the day, and yeah, see if I might be able to improve a little bit. My personal best going clockwise at Chuckwalla is a 154.51, if I remember correctly. So it would be really cool if I could get back down to that today in practice, but if not, 55 would be great. But either way, I'm just glad to be back out here and riding again. So let's get back on track. and that's a wrap on the day, but we do have the mock race for the new racers. Got some new racers getting their licenses that might be staying with us this weekend, so let's go check that out real quick.
You'll make it through turn one.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Y'all jumped the start?
All of them. I almost got hit.
Oh my god. Before he was even over the wall? Oh, that's bad, man.
They're probably red flagging it still.
Oh yeah, they red flagged it. There it is.
Oh.
Because they all jumped the start.
Yeah, do it again.
Don't say that. Okay, look, he's like, wait, everybody wait.
This time?
All right, Shannon's gonna get her.
Here we go, guys. Now, Shannon, look how slow she's going. 3, 2, 1, go. Woo, Richie! Nice little gap too. Woo!
Got in there first. That was inside.
I want to see a wheelie across the line. Come on, Richie. Richie, let's see that wheelie. And that's a wrap on another Friday practice for CVMA. So again, this was the first time in almost 8 months that I'd ridden a super sport bike. I've had my Tuono out at the track a few times since my crash back in April that broke my collarbone, and totally different experience riding that bike versus the Daytona 675R. The Tuono, the lower body position is very similar. It's pretty aggressive. Your legs are pretty tight. The pegs are kind of high and far back. But the upper body position is much more relaxed. Even though you are still pitched forward a little bit, having that higher handlebar doesn't mean you have to lean forward quite as far. And that leverage just makes it really easy to throw the bike around into corners, stand it up out of corners. Not to mention all the electronics that it has, like the auto blipper. That's really nice. So going back to the Daytona 675R and having to actually rev match my own downshifts and do things a little bit more manually was a bit of a challenge at first, especially as I was getting used to just being in that really aggressive forward-leaning body position again. But after that first session, I started to get comfortable, did a low 156, and ultimately ended the day. My last lap of that last session was a 155.85 on the Solo 2. So just 1.3 seconds off of my PB that I set back in January on my last ever amateur race. I'm feeling good. It's feeling better. I made a couple changes to the bike again with the front and rear suspension. Just took some preload out of the front and increased the speed on the compression of the shock in the rear and the rebound just a smidge. And the bike feels a lot better. I think there's still some more that I could do setup wise to make it feel a little bit more confidence inspiring and comfortable for me, but might play around with it tomorrow, might not. I know how it rides today. I think I might be able to shave a little bit more time off going into tomorrow, especially on some newer tires. I'm not going to be running brand new tires. This is a budget weekend for me, and I've got a lot of takeoffs that I need to burn through. So I have the front tire from the Podium Club race, which has, I think, just about 8 laps on it in total, 1 heat cycle. So that tire is pretty much brand new aside from just sitting and being mounted on a wheel for 8 months. And the rear tire, I don't know how many laps and your heat cycles are on it, but it looks pretty new. So if I had to guess, maybe 10 to 20 laps, but that's an SC1 rear. That's what I'm going to be running tomorrow. Today I was on an SC1 front that I think had, if I had to guess, probably 30, 40 laps, something like that on it, maybe 2 or 3 heat cycles. And the rear was an SC0 190/60. That tire had 2 races on it. Well, 1 race and almost a complete race. So a total of 16 laps, but it was hooking up nicely. It lasted another 20 laps or so. So 35, 40 laps on an SC0 is pretty good if you ask me. The track surface was relatively cool today. The SC0 does really well when the surface temperature is like over 100 degrees. I don't think it was quite that hot, but I'm not 100% sure. Nevertheless, glad I was able to get a little bit more of my money's worth out of the tire, and it was sliding around a little bit, but still working well at the end of the day. But yeah, solid first day back out here on the race bike. Hopefully going to go a little bit faster tomorrow, but nevertheless, I'm just having a blast being out here. I missed all my friends. The community around motorcycle racing, especially here in SoCal, is so incredible, so nurturing, and just so much fun, and I'm so happy to be back. And I'm really looking forward to finally completing an expert race. So once I was done riding for the day, I went and checked out the new Racer School mock race, as I usually do on CVMA Fridays at the end of the day. All the new Racer School students going to complete their final exam, essentially, to get their racing licenses. So got to talk about that first start, because that was the first time I've ever seen anything like that happen before, and it was extremely dangerous, not okay, and definitely don't want to see anybody repeat that. So one of the guys made the mistake of going as soon as the guy that was on the grid up at the front with the red flag started to move, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to wait for that guy to get off of the track and over the wall. Then there is the flag marshal, which is standing up on a tower, usually kind of high up, so that everybody on the grid can see them. They'll take a card and they'll move it 3 different ways and then throw the green flag. And when you see the green, that's when you can go. So one guy went as soon as that guy with the red flag started to move, and just everybody else on the grid followed him. And they got red flagged immediately, came in, had a very stern talking to, and then just got to go back out, have another crack at it. Did the start correctly this time, and then went on to go complete the race. Everybody got their licenses, no crashes or anything like that, and my buddy Richie actually won the mock race. So congrats to him. Looking forward to seeing what they're able to do, and hopefully they'll have a great time. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. So thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, I would sincerely appreciate a gentle little click of the like button. And if you consider subscribing for more motorcycling content like this. I know it's been a little bit sparse as of late, and I can't guarantee that that's going to change, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in my life right now. But I'll keep you updated and have a better explanation of all of that here shortly after the race weekend. But drop a comment below as well. Have you been to the track lately? Are you thinking about club racing? Do you need any tips, guidance, have any questions? Let's talk about it down in the comments below. But thanks again for watching, and I'll hope to catch you in the next one, whenever that may be. Until then, later.